There we go. Oh my gosh, it's like I haven't streamed Farm Sim for a while. Hey, GoldenEye. Hey, Jan, what's up? We are here on Erlengrot in our Farming in the Alps series, and it is late summer. We're a little bit ahead of the recorded videos, and I thought, you know what? I've got a ton of hay bales to make, so why don't I do it with bringing you guys along for the ride. Hey, Paul, what's up? That's right, Merry post-Christmas to you, or wish you an early Happy New Year. Now, I've got a lot to talk about tonight related to precision farming and some interesting inconsistencies. A little bit of a surprise there, right? An interesting set of inconsistencies that I seem to have come upon here on the Farming in the Alps series. The recorded videos are going to talk about it in the coming weeks, but yeah, yields on grass, or grass in general, is acting a little weird. Oh, Christmas Day was just great. Just great. In that, for whatever reason, I'm seeing different behavior on different grass fields that, for all intents and purposes, are the same. So yeah, not really sure what to make of it. When we get to a straight point, I'll bring up the information screen and show you all what I'm talking about. But we're going to make 30 round bales, and once we have 30 round bales made, then we're going to switch over to squares, because we're going to be selling a whole heck of a lot of hay tonight down at the hay dealer. And quite frankly, the pausing every 15 seconds to unload the round baler is, well, it's going to get a little monotonous, to say the least. And with our windfalls, financial windfalls, of all of the milk sales that we now have, well, we can afford to swap out machinery without too much hassle. Hope you had a good Christmas Day there, Paul, and GoldenEye. I've had a fair bit of fun with the Farming in the Alps series. My plan was to carry it through a third year, and then we'd be moving on. We're coming to, or more than halfway through now, our second year, so it won't be too terribly much longer. Tomorrow night, I got plans. Tomorrow night, we're going to start a streaming series, I think, on Kleinhau. I was looking today at some mods in the mod hub, picking out some mods. I think what I'm going to do is just do Kleinhau and do a lot of sheep, a lot of cows, and a lot of pigs. Just a whole lot of stuff. Because that map's got a ton of grass on it, easily support a bunch of cows and sheep, and the fields are pretty spacious. so we shouldn't have any issue growing crops for a lot of pigs. And I thought we'd just mess around on that map during live streams. Starting tomorrow, we're going to build out the farm. Hopefully, we'll build out the farm and it won't be a complete disaster. Anytime I get in the landscaping tool, it could end in disaster. Well, bales made, all right. So you're going to see through the recorded videos that I've gone through a couple different balers. And that is because I was using the straw harvest ground baler, and it was really, really wanky. When it would go to eject the bale, it would the bale would jump out. But if the baler was on any sort of decline, the bale would end up being stationary within the baler. It would never eject. And then when the next bale was made, 2 bales would pop out. So it was just really, really janky. I tried another baler off camera, and it was just as janky as that one. Of course, it was a baler that was kind of based on the straw harvest baler, so no shock there, right? Now this one ejects pretty nice. This is a baler I got off the mod hub, and the only interesting thing with that one is when you open the lid, it's spinning. Spins at high RPM in the baler, but it does roll out well, and it sits fairly stationary on the ground. Straw harvest baler, I mean, when those bales come out, it's like they have an engine and they just roll away. They roll all over the place. I mean, no doubt this one's going to roll because we're on a hill, but overall the bales getting spit out of the no doubt that one's going to roll, right? I expect it to roll. But the other one, straw harvest, I mean, that would be down in the river by now. So, it's just straw harvest is, dare I say, disappointing in 19. At least with the round baler. The square baler works okay. I like the square baler, I like the bale accumulator. Really haven't used it a lot like I used it in 17. Probably use it in 17 more because it costs money. We got all of this to make hay, and we got all of that. That's what we're doing tonight. We're baling all of that. All that over there, and all of this over here. Hey, gaming with Trismo, what's up? Hey, Ravenhawk. So yeah, during my perusal of the mod hub today, I discovered, and I put in Discord, that information earlier today. I had to go through 111 pages until I got to a mod released in 2019. So there are 24 mods per page on the Giants Mod Hub website. There were 2,664 plus mods either released or updated in 2020 on the Giants Mod Hub. That is an insane number. that is probably, and I'd have to do the math, that is pretty darn close to more mods than were released in 17 in its entirety on the Giants Mod Hub. So, you know, we give Giants, we give QA a big hassle about things that they miss and whatnot. But in all honesty, 2,600 plus mods released or updated in 2020 in the Mod Hub. That's not counting however many mods could possibly have been submitted and rejected multiple times. How many mods were updated multiple times? That's like 50 some a week on average. Of course, we know that the mods that are out there outside the Mod Hub are far more numerous than those on the Giants Mod Hub, but still, those pretty shocking numbers. Pretty shocking numbers. I mowed this morning and I got it all raked up this afternoon, and that's when I decided, you know what, let's live stream this. Let's chat about 17. Let's chat about 19. I mean. We haven't been doing any farm sim live streams for about a week. We've been focusing a lot on ATS and the gift event. Now, post Christmas, we're going to turn back to farm sim and take a look at this. Take a look at Kleinhau. I'm going to do a series on it to some degree. Man, the map that came out the day before Christmas, that's a doozy there. I just wish it didn't have Maze Plus. So I've even thought about trying to figure out what it would take to strip Maze Plus out of that, so I could play it without all that. But then I was thinking, you know what, there's plenty of maps. Why do I need to really bother with tweaking one to fit the bill when I could just well, go find another? Where are we at? Again, we're only needing to get 30. Technically I need 31 because I made a bale of straw earlier. There was an interesting rake that came out in the Mod Hub. When I saw it show up, I really didn't pay attention to it. But I was looking for a different rake for this map earlier today, and I was looking at it, and one of those V wheel rakes came out in the Mod Hub this week. And it's got a rear attachment and a PTO. So you can bale and rake at the same time. And I thought about using that here, but I still had the round baler, still have the round baler, so that just wasn't going to work out because, see, the bale just sits there on a hill. If I had the straw harvest baler, that bale would be gone. It'd be down the hill. I didn't want to stop raking constantly, just for the sake of unloading the baler. So yeah, I've got it activated. I'll show it to you here in the shop here in a few minutes. I'm using the bale add-on mod, so we have net wrap in here. I like the idea of balers having consumables that you've got to deal with. Hey Corey, what's up? The Vicon Fast Bale. Indeed, that is a very nice baler. I'm not using it here because we used it exclusively in Pros versus Joes, and well, we just didn't need. I didn't need to. All right, let's go turn this thing in. We made our 31 bales. I prefer square balers too. I didn't do this series, or I didn't start this series with a square baler because of the horsepower requirement on square balers is typically so much more than round balers. The exception are the baler wrapper combos. But I found that mod in the Giants mod hub earlier today. Been out for a while. It is a German branded square baler. This thing is huge. Alright, got twine in it. Good to see. If we get rid of that baler. And this thing has the added benefit of being dirt cheap. So $5,000. This darn thing, 120 horsepower. Pretty big. Pretty big. But you can get different brands. You can get a Case 530 on it. And different high hitch or low hitch options. It's in the mod hub. So I don't know. Been out for a while. But honestly, I have never used it, so we're about to figure out how it works. But let me show you that rake. The rake I was talking about is right here. It's 8.5 meter working width, but it has a rear hitch and a PTO. And PTO connects. So hydraulic attachments, so the hydraulics pass through. PTO shaft passes through. So you can rake and bale at the same time. Perfect for a square baler, you know? Now, I didn't go with this because I already had this in-game rake, which was 9.3 meters, so it was bigger than this one. We're going to see how this baler works, because if this works pretty good, I'm going to use it on Klein Howell also. Let's see, we want to fold this. Of course, I got oh shoot. Let me go back. I got the used variant of this thing. I need to repair it because the fact that I bought it used, I mean, it's all worn down. I don't mind the worn down paint, but the working speed, I want to be back up to normal. Well, see, the thing with the Heston baler is none of the repaired. Yeah, none of these bale wagons are going to work with the Heston baler. Because the bales are too big. So, I mean, if you want to go around and pick all the bales up by hand, or if you've got, you know, a magic auto-loading bale trailer that just picks them up and plops them on the baler. Whoops. Before we start baling with this, I want to show you my confusion with what's going on this map with precision farming in grass. Really confused. I know this thing's beastly. I hope it works good. So let me show you this. All right, so I've got a grass field here, grass here, grass there, grass here, and grass down here. But I haven't cut this. This is uncut. So all of this grass has now been cut twice. Cut it first time. I made hay. I think that video's aired already. Then I cut, and it's not aired yet. I cut grass here, here, and here, and I put it down here in my fermenter. Okay. Put more grass down here in my fermenter. We basically have 800, 600, almost 700,000 liters of grass down here. So we've got over here, this grass has perfect nitrogen. And I put lime down here, so the lime is different. But this has perfect nitrogen. Okay. This over here has perfect nitrogen. And this is loam. And the bottom part of this is loam. Okay? Just setting the stage. Setting the stage. So loam, pH is the exact same. I've gone through and applied lime post, so lime doesn't matter. But at any rate, nitrogen, 200, right? Look at my yield. This whole area yielded the exact same amount, 65%. This area here yielded 105%, but then this little strip yielded 65%. So you want to know what the difference is between this 105 and this 65? I saved the game and relaunched it. That's it. I was mowing, and basically the wife said, "Hey, dinner's ready." So I was like, okay. So I stopped it, saved it, exited the game, ate dinner, came back, launched the game, finished mowing it, and it's 65%. Same nitrogen level, had the exact same pH level, completely different yields. I mean, up here it's expected because this is clay, and we got 85%. That's kind of expected. Same thing down here. Now, what's interesting down here is this, when I mowed it, you see I'm still at 200. My nitrogen never dropped, nor did it drop up here. This never dropped. I never lost nitrogen when I mowed the grass. I didn't lose any pH when I mowed the grass. Yet I still have 65% yield there, 75% yield up here. I don't know why. Don't know why. Do that, and let's turn it on. Oh, neat. We got some nice animations going on. So yeah, there seems to be a glitch. But still, there's something else going on. I mean, it's not... I mean, I've got either perfect or pretty darn near perfect nitrogen levels. I've got pretty darn near perfect pH levels. And I was getting 65 and 75% reported yield on the grass. The D1000 or the other one? I was thinking about using the D1000 baler, but I learned that it makes smaller bales than standard size. That was annoying. Oh no, I hope they all don't do that. They all don't just kick out of the baler of the BB90. Okay, that was better. Yeah, just be prepared to pick those bales up manually. The Anderson trailer is not going to work. Now there may be some folks that have made some Heston compatible auto load trailers. Yeah, the D1000 makes like 2,300 liter bales. Let me put a link, a picture in Discord that someone else posted to me. Cooper, I don't remember that. Sorry. Lots of people ask lots of questions, so no. Let me get that real quick. I'll just open it up and I'll just put it here in here. So that's a standard bale. That's what comes out of the D1000. A little shorter, a little squatter. Might not be quite as wide, but it's supposedly 2,300 liters. All right, so let's see here. Let's turn that on. And then let's go in here to this. Let's go and change this to kilometers. .3. Right, that was the working width of the windrow. 9.3. Okay. And then we want to lock this in, then we can GPS it. And there we go. So I'm trying to work the side panel. The wife got me a side panel for Christmas. Worked this morning to try to figure out how I wanted to map some of these buttons on the side panel, and I think I got it figured out for the most part. Got a little bit of a cheat sheet up because, quite frankly, I'm not going to remember what buttons do what. Well, I use them for quite a long time, I'm sure. Yeah, I heard of Sim Dashboard, but you've got to have a device. You don't have a secondary device, then it's not much good. Yes, this is family friendly, so if you have a problem with that, then you'll have to go elsewhere where they think it's cool to show how immature you are. I can't see who's, hold on. Can't see who's joining. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I got my phone, but it's an S9, but still. I don't have any place to mount the phone or anything like that. And I don't really feel like messing around with making a screen and the same thing with like a Stream Deck. I was messing with the joystick, trying to get comfortable using it for like looking around the cameras, turning around, and using it for wheel loaders. And right now, I have to say that I'm probably bit slower than using the mouse on a wheel loader. But getting it figured out. I got to see if I can get this to work with ATS. Then I can use it for ATS 2. I don't have a trucking game. This baler works out pretty good. Let's go back and change this to something I can understand. Hey, LJH Greenbolt, what's up? I haul equipment by driving it. Works really well at ATS, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, like, I use the buttons on the wheel for ATS pretty exclusively. But I don't have everything programmed on ATS. So I end up having the keyboard to, you know, accept loads and things. So I could program that into the side panel and then not have to worry about having a keyboard on my lap. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for dropping by, Greenbolt. There was a notice. There was a notice there. I scheduled the live stream up probably about an hour ago. So it went up when that got scheduled. Shift down here a little bit and set our A/B points again. Lock in the load. I do like these little tractors. They call the rigid tracks. Wish they had a little bit more fuel capacity. I think it might add a little nitrogen to the soil once you cultivate it under. I've heard that if you cultivate in withered crop or just a growing crop, you get some nitrogen. So I would suspect that if you cultivate in the oilseed radish, that you would also get some nitrogen. How much? I don't know. Yeah, this baler's working pretty good. You know, low profile but long. Got some pretty nice animations working in here. If I had a little more horsepower on the tractor, then it wouldn't drag down so much. Yeah, I just never thought to experiment with that during the precision farming how-to because I just never use oilseed radish in my own play, so in my head it doesn't exist. It's not a thing. So I never use it. And the idea of seeing what cultivating crop in the ground would do, that never made any that never entered my head because I'm like, I think, why are you going to cultivate a crop in the ground? Seems wasteful. And I rarely have withered crop, so the idea of seeing what happens if you cultivate withered crop in the ground, you know, that never entered my head. Yeah, I think we're gonna go grab the Fent. Something a little beefier. So let's see here, let's turn this off. So I have on button 6. Oh, turn it off? No. Yeah, button 6. Right. And let's detach, which is on button 2. Turn that off. We're gonna go get more ponies. There's our more ponies. Hey, Chef, what's up? Anyone try that that camera mod that came out like last week? Thought I'd try it in the Kleinhau series. That on. This back on. Then we have to go back here and change this. Go set this to three. Cruise control. And there we go, everybody. Yeah, the side panel is pretty good. 28 programmable buttons. The default programming is a little weird. Ah, Joe. Sounds good. Yeah, this thing's got a bit more ponies. She'll pull the hill a lot better. Question is, how much money do you think we're going to get from selling all this hay? Oh, premium edition. That's all the DLC, isn't it? It's a nice pickup. I think last time I baled hay, we made 300 and some bales in the spring. I don't think we're going to need that many, but we do now have a fair number of cattle. Got 150 milkers, and then about 120 calves. I am in Virginia, on the East Coast. Oh. Got some hay up here. So what did y'all think about the that big mod push earlier this week? A ton of stuff came out right before Christmas. I don't think too many people were really expecting it. It's kind of a surprise. Oh, it's awful late in Ireland, isn't it? I plan on doing it, yeah. That has been lifted, but quite frankly, if someone is going to use parts from a DRM protected DLC, they deserve it. Don't care who you are. You're going to use DRM protected things, which means that you have obtained those parts by breaking the encryption and the copy protection. Then you have violated law, and they should be banned. But from what I understand, that has been lifted, and they apparently have been given a second or third chance. They've already violated Giant's terms of service multiple times. So when you bite the hands that feed you, and then the hand slaps you back, you don't stare at the hand going, "What'd you do that for?" That's all I'm going to say about that. And I don't care how good you are, if you're using stolen components. They don't belong in the official mod hub. They don't belong anywhere. They belong in a courtroom being prosecuted for violating copyright law. That's where they belong. And to that end, you will never see a mod by anyone that was banned and then lifted in this channel. So let's turn this thing off. So that should be, and then what, 12? Spew out a bale. Come on. Come on. Drop off. Go. Now let's see how many bales we get off of this field. Sitting at 51. Oh, we can do this. Put Alt line. There we go. Left Alt line. Reset the bale counter so we know how many bales came off of this particular field. You know, the fact is, if so, I mean, you know, if one of the grounds of defense was, well, I've had a mod on the mod hub that used those same tracks for months and it wasn't a problem. Well, that's not a defense. It's like, I've been stealing cars for months and you never caught me, so that wasn't against the law. As I said earlier, there's over 2,600 mods updated and or newly released in 2020. That does not count how many mods were updated multiple times, nor does it count how many mods were submitted and rejected. So the QA team has been quite busy for the entire year of 2020. There's going to be things to get by them. And I rag on QA all the time when I find issues with maps, but you know, they're busy. They're trying to get things out because the community as a whole is a whole bunch of mod frenzied people who can't seem to get enough mods. And as a result, heaven forbid you don't have some mods that show up one day because they're trying to test stuff. So things slip through. Fact is, if it can be demonstrated that those tracks explicitly came from the 9RX that was in the Beauregard DLC, which is locked behind DRM, means the only way that they could have been obtained would have been to crack the DRM and then to have the audacity to submit those very tracks that came from a illegally cracked DRM to Giants, the rightful copyright holder of that DRM, is about the biggest case of stupid that I've ever heard. Now, if you want to play the argument, I didn't know where they came from. Did they just poof on your hard drive one day? Did you just wake up one day and discover them in a folder on your hard drive? And you're like, oh, the 3D track fairies must have dropped this off overnight. They came from somewhere. You either downloaded them off of a random website that someone randomly uploaded them to, and then you know you're doing something sketch because you downloaded them off some random site, right? Or somebody gave them to you and I don't know where they came from, is you trying to not give up your source of who's cracking DRM for you. It is pretty big. It is a pretty big grass field for sure. Let's see what the precision farming fairies say. Now this is also up here, but 13 hectares. Go here to our lands. Our lands area, 13 hectares. Now we're only mowing up to this road and around. So we're not mowing this over here. one more round, and then we'll start doing our straight shots. So no, I will not willingly or knowingly use a mod from any mod author that has explicitly used cracked assets from a DRM. I went through the other day and checked. Well, I really don't have, this is the only active series I have, so I didn't have any of their mods in this series anyway, so I didn't have to worry too much about it. But I did have their mods in a few mod folders of some past series. So if we ever go back and look at Emerald Coast and pick up that save where we left off on Emerald Coast, there will be a half dozen or more things that are now gone, vanished. If we ever pick up Ballydorn again, there will be a couple things missing from there. There was a couple things turned up on the West Coast server, but I'm not playing on the West Coast server, so I don't have to worry about that. Well, they didn't have permission to use it because it was cracked DRM. No modder has permission to use the stuff that's in the DRM in the DLCs until it's no longer a DLC. Now, there are ways to reference DLC things via XML that don't involve stripping the 3D assets out of a copy protected file. So if you call, let's say so there are some, let's reference that. So the RTK building that's in the Precision Farming DLC, well, it's just a zip file. That's a bad example. Oh, let's see here if I can come up with a... I don't know if I can come up with one in the recent that I'm aware of. But well, let's just reference the RTK and just pretend that it's behind DRM. So there's some mods that showed up in the mod hub right after Precision Farming came out that were little RTK GPS stands that you could put down instead of a building. They were cheaper, they were smaller. There would be ways to reference that functionality in a mod just via XML. So the player would still need to have the Precision Farming add-on. So I'm sure there would be a way to reference the 3D tracks. How? I don't know, but I'm sure there's a way. There's a way to reference the 3D tracks from the 9RX, from the I call it the Beauregard because I don't know how to pronounce it, from that DLC with just XML, but it would require anyone that wanted to use that configuration option would have to have owned and have active that DLC. So if you didn't own that DLC, then you wouldn't be able to use that track, because obviously that track is ultimately coming from the DLC, not from the mod itself. But what happened was they stripped the 3D assets out of the DRM protected DLC and put them into the mod as standalone 3D assets. And that is what violates copyright law. So in the US, that is the DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Internationally, I don't know what copyright laws there are, but I can be rest assured that pretty much every country and every jurisdiction, like the EU itself, has varying copyright laws so it's not legal anywhere. In all honesty, it's not that hard for me to say that that I won't use any of their mods, because most of their mods are John Deere junk anyway, and well, I don't run John Deere junk. But it's more of a principle. Well, I think Kevin, I think China does, but it's a little bit more malformed, like, you know. Things in China are copy protected by the state. So, you know, intellectual property that China might happen to actually create on their own would be owned by the state. And any intellectual property that they don't own would probably be, you know, since they don't own it, it's up for grabs. I would say they don't respect anyone else's copyright. I'm sure they have their own. They respect their own. And that's another thing. So, you know, if you see my mod review videos, you see the respect the modder tag on those videos. And you know, I take that seriously. So again, it goes back to the comment of you know, if you're going to bite the hand that feeds you, then you need to expect to be bit back. So if you're going to be disrespectful to the game and the company that literally puts food in your mouth, because the Giants Mod Hub pays modders for downloads, then you don't deserve to be on the platform. Hey Darren, what's up? Oh, the side panel's working pretty good. It's just figuring out and remembering what buttons I've programmed to do what. Yeah, it's like old dog, new trick thing, right? After 5,000 hours of farm sim using keyboard and mouse and for most controls, yeah, using something else is like relearning it. Yeah, Giants pays modders a rate per download based on the rating, the mod rating. So I think you get more if your mod has a 4+ rating. I think you get more if your mod has like a 4.5 or more rating. And it's unique downloads. So, you know, they incentivize putting mods on their platform by compensating modders that get their mods on their platform. Yeah, I plan on labeling them once I've got it all figured out, but the way I've got it set up now, the side panel is off to the side by name, but it's kind of off to the side a fair bit. So I wouldn't be able to read the labels anyway. Well, GoldenEye, that's why companies basically try to patent and buy patents left and right. Because what they do is they hold one patent over another patent and basically play IP swap. And be like, I could sue you for infringing on my patent, and you could sue me for infringing on your patent. So let's just pretend that we're not infringing on either's patent, and therefore not drag each of us through, you know, multi-million-dollar lawsuits that wouldn't get us anywhere. Yeah, Conquest. This is single player. Well, this is my single player Farming in the Alps series. And we're just doing a little live stream as I bale a bunch of hay, because quite frankly I'd be baling a bunch of hay anyway. Here, I'll just come on and chat with you guys, see what kind of stuff you have of interest you want to talk about. Hey Joe, thanks for dropping by. How late is it in Dublin? Let's see, we're at 65 bales, 116 total. That off. You can, in multiplayer, you can type. You can't voice. Well, if you're playing on PC, you can't voice chat in multiplayer, but you can type by hitting the T button and then type what you want and hit enter. So there's text chat. Now in console, I suspect there's voice chat, but it's through, you know, the console multiplayer interface. But, you know, lots of people use Discord or TeamSpeak or any number of other, you know, voice chatting utilities. Whoa, 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 whoa. I am using OBS to stream, and Streamlabs has a chat plugin. Yep, Streamlabs. Yeah, OBS is free. Streamlabs is free. Streamlabs has their own version of OBS called Slobs. Streamlabs OBS. It is free. Now there are some things that can be paid, but I don't pay anything for OBS. I don't pay anything to put the chat on the screen. You might find Streamlabs OBS easier to set up than just plain OBS. Yeah, well, I use normal OBS too. It's a Streamlabs plugin. So go create an account on Streamlabs, and they got all kinds of plugins. And yeah. Yeah, you can get that too. They got all kinds of overlays, interfaces, all kinds of integrations. Personally, I'd like to see a little better functionality with the landscaping and placing of objects. I'd like to see them focus more on enhancing the whole building your own farm. Personally, I think we've got enough brands, we've got enough vehicles and implements. We can look at other farming methods like orchards, cranberries, rice. Nuts. Vegetables. You know, some fairly specialized things. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more aspects on the simulation aspect, and I think we're getting there with precision farming. Yeah, to enhance precision farming a bit more on the soil aspects, and you know it's going to get there. You know, the ability to have an undo. You put a building down, it completely screws up the ground. I want an undo button. Like, holy cow, revert that back. I'm pretty easygoing. I don't need a whole lot. I don't feel I need a whole lot of things. I'm not someone that that feels the game is completely unplayable without mods. I think its ability to hold your interest is a lot shorter without mods, but it's not unplayable. Yeah, a bit more dynamic. Dynamic ground would be nice. Well, it's not over exaggerated. I think bringing in the idea of ground moisture. There was a mod, an add-on for seasons in 17 that dealt with compaction and ground moisture. So I'd like to see that come back. And the way that worked was, depending on your ground moisture, then the weight of your vehicle would and could cause ground compaction. And the way to combat ground compaction was to raise and lower the air pressure on your tires in order to have a larger contact patch. And or you just have compaction and you try to mitigate that as much as possible. And the reason to mitigate compaction was that if you did everything perfect, you wouldn't have to plow your field. Because in 17, remember how you had to plow after every 3 harvests. But if you did the compaction right, and you were off the field when it was wet, and when you were on the field, you had fairly light equipment, or you had, like duals on with low tire pressure, so you were spreading the weight out, such that any ground compaction that did occur could be removed with a cultivator as opposed to a plow. So I'd like to see that come back. Realismus folks said it really wasn't possible in 19 based on how Giants changed plowing. Now I've got a bale. Stuck underneath. Let's correct that problem. There we go. I think GPS would be nice. GPS in the base game would be nice. I don't know. Probably you do. Conquest. I would have set mine up years ago, so I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure you have to link Steam Labs to your YouTube account in some way, because like if you get a new subscriber, then there's a plug-in for that. You asked about subscriber count. So you'd have to link in Streamlabs to the YouTube account in order for them to be able to know when your subscriber count changes. Yeah, I just say go over there and check it out. Just don't give them any payment information. We were all small at once. We're all small at one point in time. Yep, there's a way to do that. Yeah, I mean, there's a way to accept donations through Streamlabs and some other things. I think I'm going to bail under me. Well, you could accept donations through Streamlabs. You watch those, you know, you see all those streamers with those big overlays and the scrolling banners and, you know, latest subscriber and the music that's playing and all that other jazz. 90% of that is coming from Streamlabs. I don't see why I would break YouTube's terms of service. It'd be like saying in your stream, hey, if you want to donate to me, this is how you can do it through PayPal. Or putting a donate link in your description. That's all you're basically doing. Is putting a Streamlabs link in your description that people can click on. I mean, I'm not an expert in YouTube's terms of service, but I don't see how putting a link in the description would be against the terms of service. Yeah, whatever works, right? Do whatever works. So we've made 195 bales so far today. And we have up there to do. That's all we got left. And then it's a whole bunch of picking up bales. This baler working out great. I like it. Well, remember, precision farming only gave me 75% yield. So let's go look at that again. Yeah, remember, they only gave me 75% yield off this whole field. Even though I had 6.75, 6.5, and 6.25 pH. Pretty darn good pH. And if we look out here, I'm at good pH. I shouldn't, and I'm at perfect nitrogen. Perfect nitrogen, and I'm only down 0.25 on the pH. I shouldn't be losing 25% yield for being down a wee little bit on pH. Oh, well, you don't have to be accepting donations. Age aside, yeah. Just saying, Streamlabs has a plugin for anything. Anything and everything. So let's do this. All right, this is going to be a little freaky. So there's my OBS, okay? And, we got a new sub plugin. And it's just a URL. Chat box is just a URL. And you get those URLs from Streamlabs. You just set up a different source in your sources screen, and then you position the box where you want it to be. You probably have your subscriptions hidden, and or your subscriptions are automatically hidden if you're below a certain age. So in YouTube, you can go in and basically say you don't want your subscriptions to be public. And if you do that, then when you subscribe to a channel, you don't get the notification. Well, yeah, like, the little ambassador logo, that's just a simple graphic overlay. My logo, that's just a graphic overlay. When I start a stream, I play a local video. And, you can get in and, you know, kind of do as complex or as simple as you want. Yeah, I don't remember what the requirements are around the community tab. If it's number of subscribers or if it's something else. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, used it. We're using it tonight. Messing with it today, trying to get the, trying to figure out how to program the buttons the way I want them to be. Default button mapping was interesting to say the least. So, like right now, this is the button mapping that I've got set up. Might be hard to see, but you know, there are 28 buttons on the side panel. And I went through and set them all up. Like I've got 4 buttons set up just for guidance steering. So I can, you know, enable and configure guidance steering with just, you know, buttons. Got a joystick, so you can use it to control the camera movement. I got it set up to zoom in and zoom out. You can also use the joystick. There's a button on the joystick. So if I hit the button, then it basically toggles the joystick into a second set of controls. So I've got camera movement. And then if I hit a little top button on the joystick, then it becomes like wheel loader controls, crane controls. But other than that, it's a 28 button box with a joystick. So, yeah, and it should work with other things too, like should work with ATS or any other game. Because the computer just sees it as a game controller. Now I did try to use the button, and I tried to set up a hotkey for OBS, but it didn't recognize my key press. Hey, Alfredo Farms, what's up? So yeah, I got a button mapped to enter and exit the vehicle. Got a button mapped to attach and detach and implement. That's 2 buttons. I've got a button to raise and lower, turn on and off, to dump, to fold. Set up a button to enable guidance steering. And then I set up a button to set the auto width. Because most things, you know, you can just set auto width and be good. And then I set up a button to do the set the AB points, and a button to lock in the steering. I've got pipe out, I've got cover and uncover, got the shop menu set up, some other menus. So like I go to the, you know, I got a hot button to go to the seasons menu and launch the game menu. I got a button to, launch the store. Yeah, I've seen some driving cockpits for ATS and ETS and even driving games, you know, racing games where they are you know, gauges and displays and dashboards. And as was pointed out earlier in the stream, there's a software program called Sim Dashboard that you can use to basically take any Android or it might work with iOS, any Android definitely, Android tablet, Android phone, and basically make it into a virtual button box. So you could either use a screen that someone else has made, or make up your own screen and apply functions to it, and then through I guess some interface software, the app on your phone interfaces with an app running on your computer, so that when you push the corresponding soft button on your phone or tablet, it does the function in the game. Oh yeah, square bale. Well, square bales are better everywhere, Hoot. Square bales don't slide off the field, right? Yep, it works with Android. Whoa! Yeah, look up Sim Dashboard. Oh no, we're almost out of twine. All right, we'll just do that. 6. Button 6. Well, it's better to find out about them now than never. Right, now than never. So, nearly 2 hours of bailing later. All right, that is going to do us for bailing. And let's go in here. And we'll empty baler. And we'll empty the baler. So now we have no twine and no straw in it. Or hay. So we kind of cheated in some twine just to finish off the field. We will empty it out. Where can we put this? It's kind of a big boy. We'll just have to park it here for now. Let's go up here and grab our bale trailer. Because we're going to get rid of this bale trailer once we pick up our 30 bales. There we go. Somebody's going to get a PS5. They are in short supply. The stream's not ending quite yet. Tell you, the Series S is rather enticing for its price, and couple that with the Xbox Game Pass. I could see getting it for an 8-year-old next year. All right. Put these in our stack. We should have room for B. Let's see here. Let's see does this button do it? Okay, that button does it. GTX, what's up in the house? Well, for my thought process is for a kid. It is probably a bit easier to use. All right, so let's see here. 12, button number 12. Where's that at? Here it is. Oh no, there's plenty of other folks that aren't mods. We're just a mod heavy day today. Because you need to ask what the other 40 people are doing and why they're not chatting. Oh, yeah. Yeah, how is that cyberpunk? Everybody likes to lurk. Look, I got lots of bales. And that fills up that stack. Got a full stack of straw. Got a part stack of straw. I got 3 full stacks of hay bales. Almost 700,000 liters of silage. There's my other 2 full stacks, but that is because got 150 cows. I want over 1 million liters of food in this one. 125 cows in this one. They're just going to start wanting more and more food as they grow up. See, Hoot's not a mod. See, you're not alone. Sheaf isn't a mod. You're not alone. Stack is done, son. Now let's trade in our round baler. Keep those ladies fed. And we'll pick up our square bale trailer and get to selling some bales. Hey, what's up? Bulldog King. The heck happened there? Okay, yeah. Alright, let's go grab us some square bales. See what we get per load. Just wish this thing held 24 square bales. I think it only holds 16. Oh, well, welcome to the channel. Hey, I really like this Anderson DLC. Pretty much used it in every map. And that arm is cool. $14 bales. See what we get per load, because we're gonna have what? 12, yeah, 130 some square bales. So 14, 10 would be 140 loads. So we're gonna have about 10 loads, 9 or so loads. Who plays Forestry Simulator 19? I mean, I'm not really expecting a ton of money, but it helps. That is $2,600 a load. So if we get 10 loads, it's $26,000. Right? Oh, the train. Oh, the train. Oh, looky what I found, people. Looky what I found. I found a fence with no post. You could say that's a floater. God damn, I found a floater. We can end the stream now. I found a floater. We're done. Holy crap, I found another one. Nope. Dang it. Dang it. Hey, Hoot had some floating deer on his map. You don't want to go out in the woods too far because the bear might come out at you. No, these were deer, the pellet pooping variety. Oh, they were elk. They were still a pellet pooping variety. I don't need any help making money. All right, later, Bulldog. That's okay. We're about done anyway. We're about done for the night anyway. Oh, thanks, Hoot. Well, I like the map authors that put floaters right there where it's easy to find. You know, Ravensburg was like that. There were 2 floaters right there by the church where you spawn in. I mean, it must have been really hard to not fix those with, you know, all of the extensive testing that I'm sure these maps go through. You know, to say, no, we're going to leave those in. Alright guys, so I think that's going to do us for the night. I'm going to have a lot of bale collection to do. Get those bales off the field. I plan on being live tomorrow night on Kleinhau. And thinking about just building out the farm live on stream. Spent the afternoon downloading a bunch of stuff off the mod hub. Mostly buildings, animal pens. So tune in tomorrow night for that and watch me struggle with the placing things. That should be a blast, right? So until next time, happy farming.